Hello everybody, the Governor here. DrayMen's Knowledge, mini episode number 2 from my side of the pond. I'm off to Cornwall tomorrow, so I thought what better than review a Cornish stout I've been saving back for the Stout seasonal specials we've been doing. Marco is at the moment recording one over in America. I very much look forward to seeing that soon. But as I said, I'm off to Cornwall tomorrow, so be reviewing this beer today from the St Austell Brewery, Cornwall, and it's called Mena Dhu. Now that is the Cornish word for Black Hill. Now Black Hill is, or Mena Dhu rather, is the name of the farm that the founder Walter Hicks owned when he set this brewery up all the way back in 1851. So let's get the pour on. This is an absolutely beautiful bottle. The top of it is got the Victorian Tower, as is the front, their emblem here. It's a nice, attractive looking stout bottle, and you can see there embossed on the actual glass says St Austell. Right, so here we go. Lids off. Let's get the pour on. That stout smell, lovely. Here it comes, gentlemen and ladies. Look at that. Beautiful black. Velvety looking pint. Let's have a look. As always, just under the pint so I don't spill any when I'm trying to look at the camera. But there we go. Let's have a smell. Smells very oaky, espresso type of smell to it. The taste, get a good glug of that. Excuse me a second, let's go again. The taste is beautiful. The taste is very often from a bottled stout, very similar. You get a tiny little bit of like a fizzy sensation as it's settling. But look at that. Pitch black. Still got a head on it. It's lovely. Tastes a little touch of chocolate, a hint of licorice in there. Just a good malty, Guinnessy taste and oakiness to it. And that's because it's a unique blend of 6 Cornish oats. We've got, I'll just read off my list here so I don't get anything wrong. We've got malts which include pale, crystal, chocolate, smoked and malted oats, and a roasted barley. That's part of the 6 ingredients which they pride themselves on. As I said, it was set up a long time ago, 1851, in St Austell. A place I know well. I've driven past this brewery many times 20 years ago when I was a wee lad, or not a wee lad but a young adult, just on my first job down in Cornwall, a year out from university and working for the National Trust, and I lived probably about 14 miles from this brewery, and when I drove home back to my parents' house back when I used to go and visit back in Essex, I'd drive past this brewery all the time. Never went in. Classic Marco, that. Chalk it up. Excuse me. Get rid of the COVID while we're here. So it's not far from the Eden project, those famous domes. I'm not sure if anyone in America is aware of the Eden project. It's very big over here. It's huge, great golf ball domes, and inside is biosphere, which is like a jungle they've recreated, and things like that in the old chalk pits surrounding St Austell. The actual St Austell Brewery, as I said, has been going all that time, and it's just grown and grown and grown. At the moment they employ over 1,000 people. They're in different areas of the country with things like hospitality and functions, and they supply millions of pints of beer around the country. They do a vast range of beers, stouts, ales. They even do spirits. Some of the beers they do, popular around here and on pumps in many of the bars, it's Proper Job IPA, or as you should say, Proper Job. Bim. And you've got Tribute, which is one of our favourites of mine if we're just going out for a few drinks, a few pints of Tribute. And they do a Cornish lager called Korev, which is the Cornwall in the Cornish language. They also do, I've just seen on their website, a Russian Imperial Stout at the moment. Pretty expensive, and unfortunately on their website it's sold out, but hopefully I can get my hands on them. Just the bottle looks incredible. They do bottles, cans, seasonal ales, hopefully a few Christmas ones. Could be a Christmas special. And they got small batch brews and draft, as I've said before. They've got a huge visitor centre in front of the main brewing factory with a tap room, restaurant, shop. They do tours of the brewery under normal circumstances, obviously, and it's an impressive setup. It's good for a family day out, if anything else. But if a few of you got together, a few beer enthusiasts, I dare say you could have a good old few hours down there. Everything about that brewery looks incredibly clean and incredibly well put together, thought out. As I said, they employ over 1,000 staff at the moment, and it looks a top-notch place. It's a nice stout. It really is. It's flavoursome. I should tell you, it's a light compared to some of the ones that Marco drinks over there, and they're all up 9% and things like that. This is only a 4.5%. It's refreshing for a stout. It's I'd call like not watery, but you know what I mean. It's not thick. It's very easy and light to drink. It's got a lovely stout smell about it. Everything you'd expect. It's a lovely tasting beer. That part of the world is quite dear to my heart. I spent a year of my life down there when I was 19, and went down there not knowing anyone, and made some good friends and had some good times down there, and drunk in quite a few Cornish pubs. The Ship Inn in Portlow being my local haunt at the time, for those few months I was there, and the craziness and hedonistic days of tall trees and Berties and whatever other sailors, I believe it was, in Newquay. In fact, Newquay was where I got my first tattoo. Atlantic Studios, I'll give that a little shout out. And one day I hope to go to St Austell Brewery again and really spend a good day there. Getting the Eden Project again up the road. I've been there since. And you know, if I could get a chat with a couple of the chaps there, be interesting to see how a bigger organisation, especially for the southwest, what their sort of vision is. I mean, their website, as I said, is incredible. It's incredibly detailed on each beer, going into every ingredient and every the volumes they use and things like that, and loads of photographs and anything that you could think of. They're easy to be contacted on all these social media outlets and their own website, as I've said before. So look them up. They're 100% independent, and they're still family owned, which is incredible after all these years. And they do a lot of good in that area for local employment, as I've said and mentioned, and also local tourism. It's a lot bigger now, that factory and brewery, should I say, and shop and visitor centre, than it was the 20 years ago that I used to drive past it. It's looking at it online, I'm sure you'll agree, if you just tap them up and type in St Austell Brewery, you'll agree it looks impressive as well. So not much else to say about it really, other that I've enjoyed it. I've got to get a score, but I'm not quite there, so I'm just wondering what Marco's doing over in the US of A. He's told me he's got a little stout lined up, so I'm looking forward to his mini episode of the DrayMen's. I hope we enjoy these things. We don't pretend to be any expert, it's just a interesting way to get the message out there about different beers we've tried, and hope you enjoy it. So I'm coming down to the end of this now. I've just got to... Oh, one thing actually I didn't mention was I found it how to... On the back, it'll be backwards for you, I should think. It says how to pour it proper. It gives you instructions on how to pour it. And at the bottom, as it does with a lot of bottled beers, it says leave the little bit, which I suppose is the dregs, in case there's any sort of sediment or anything in there. But it's clean as, you know, it's a lovely bottled beer. So do I give a dreg? I gave a dreg the other day. Only the weather really. We've had one day that's dry. I've just inched in here from the inside into my garage, and it's pissing down, so welcome to England. Anyway, that'd be my dreg for the week, or dreg for the day I should say, and there'll be another one in a couple of days time. As I said, me and Marco got plenty of these to get through, so we'll keep posting them up. And now he's the wizard with the controls the other end on the old Instagram and YouTube and whatnot. He loads it all up, so anyway, enjoy yourselves, and let's get this down me. Stop waffling. It's a good beer. It's a good stout. It's not my favourite type of stout, so I'm going to go for with a 7.5. So that's my rating for the St Austell Brewery. Mena Dhu Stout is a 7.5. Right, see you soon everyone for another DrayMen's mini episode.